Welcome back to season 5 of Time to Change. I'm Chase Forehand.
And I'm Dom Jones. We have some amazing conversations lined up from people doing the work. I'm excited for those and the change that it'll hopefully spark.
I can't wait to jump in. So let's get started. And here we are today with Dr. Melissa Robinson Winemiller in the house.
Hey.
She is known as the empathy queen, but I'm telling you, she is so much more. She is the empathy queen plus. Yes. As the Olympics are going on and people are like, she needs like 1 million gold medals for all the cool stuff that she's doing. And for those of you that are seeing this, that are coming back and will rewatch this, make sure right above Dom's left shoulder, just like we do every week. Very nice job. Look at that. Look at that. There's a QR code that you can scan and pre-order Dr. Winemiller's book. So I've already done that. I'm excited to get my copy and get my signed copy. Like, you have that option. You can get in there, get that book. So I'm excited to read it. I'm excited to talk about it. And I'm going to make sure that we get this show out in enough time to where people can sign up even more. So looking forward to that. The first thing that I want to ask you is, you have an incredible story. We've heard your story. We've talked about your story before on other shows, and I really love how you view empathy, and that's a lot of what you talk about. So let's start with, what is empathy? For those that don't know, and let's go from there.
Yeah. So empathy at its actual base is just, I feel what you're feeling. We can feel what each other are going through, and I'm not taking responsibility for it. I am not trying to fix the situation, but I'm in it with you. It's what Brene Brown calls being in the suck together. And a lot of times that's what it is. But it's just really human connection. It's the basis of kind of everything else.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And Dr. Melissa, something that you said, I think it might be on your site as well, but on your LinkedIn profile, you talked about how something as simple as empathy, it makes us better humans, but it also leads to better business as well and better organizations. Can you break down for us why this ingredient of empathy, why is it so critical for organizational or business success?
Absolutely. So the thing is at its basis, organizations of any kind are people. We are human beings being human. And it might be in an organizational setting, but we're still interacting as people, even if we're doing it through AI, or we're doing it through tech, or we're doing it through metrics. At the base of it, we're people. So we have got to be able to interrelate as people. I can give you a quick story if you want, talking about productivity and innovation and business stuff.
Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely. Share that.
Hey, because I've been lucky enough, I've been able to do field studies with some of the people that I work with. So I actually see results and go, yeah. So there's a person I've been working with. He's a director, and he went into the spot where they were like, oh, the culture is really bad. I don't know, but that's what we want you to change, and culture and culture and culture. And he's like, all right, so what do I do with this? And I said, well, you're going to have to actually get in contact with your people. If you want to change the culture, then you're going to have to be the catalyst by actually connecting with your people. So what I said he needed to do is just do his rounds once a day, which meant once a day, get out of your office and go see your people. And this does not need to be a 4-hour-long conversation. It's you cruising through the hall, going, how you doing? What's happening? How's the baby? Fish are biting, whatever, and he needs to get up from his computer every so often anyway. So he started doing this just once a day. And next thing you know, because this is happening every day, people are getting to know him. And because they're getting to know him, they're getting to like him. And as they get to like him, they start to trust him. So his employees started coming to him and saying, look, we've got these inefficiencies happening in this lab. If we do this and this, we can change it. Because these are the people that are boots on the ground. These are the people that are doing it. And he was like, that's brilliant. Let me spearhead this initiative. They were innovative with what they were doing, and it ended up saving all sorts of money. And through this innovation, their productivity got much better. So now all of a sudden, they're getting more out of what they were doing with exactly the same amount of people. He's getting these fantastic ideas for innovation, which honestly just keep coming. And because of the innovation and the productivity, the profit's gone up.
Wow.
Yeah,
All you had to
that's
do was say,
fantastic.
hey.
Yeah.
Connecting back to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time, how if what you care about the most is driving profits, then take a side detour and start pouring into people, and then watch those profits soar, and watch your people thrive, and then watch the communities around you thrive. So it's like, it's magic. It's win-win-win all the way around.
It works.
Yes.
It does work. Yeah, it's incredible. So you talk a lot about, you talk about a lot of different things in empathy. I've had the pleasure of listening to you in multiple settings. Can you teach empathy? And for a long time, I really didn't believe you could. And it really took me unlearning that philosophy and relearning more about empathy to understand I was wrong, and that you can teach empathy. But I would love for you to talk about that a little bit and explain, why you think you can learn empathy, how it can be taught, and what are some of the caveats to that.
Sure. So it's interesting you bring up dark triad, and I won't go down there because that could be like hours and hours and hours. Get your popcorn. This could be a while. But the thing is one of the thing that really defines dark empathy, and that's sociopathy, psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, is that they have no empathy. Empathy, actually, there is some biological basis to it. They see this in children very, very young, like newborns. So if you have absolutely no affective empathy, meaning emotional empathy, you're probably going to fall into these dark triad places. And in that case, affective empathy, you're probably not going to be able to teach it. But you can teach what's called cognitive empathy. And that's an ability to see and understand and respond correctly in a situation. And people that are in this dark triad actually get to be pretty good at this because they have to be able to pass as like normal human beings. So they pick up these kind of skills. But the good news is that dark triad is really only 2 to 5% of the population. There's not a lot of them, which means that the rest of us, 95% of us, have empathy to some degree. So it's not a matter of teaching it, it's a matter of practicing it.
You know what that just made me think about, and it also connects with what you were talking about just before that. The thing, empathy being so essential to our human nature. It's what makes us human. My mind goes to a lot of the push that we're seeing in the landscape with artificial intelligence. And you hear a lot of the language around how jobs are going to be replaced. Can you, for people who are concerned about that, it almost feels like being more empathetic and unlocking the humanness in your organization is a secret sauce for you to be a better worker, a better leader, etc.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you have any thoughts around, like, is that what you're talking about, something that can be duplicated with AI, or is it really a strategic advantage for us in the workplace?
Oh, it's a huge strategic advantage. See, the thing with AI that I actually spent a chapter on this in my book because it's so important right now. And the thing that people don't understand about AI is it is a tool, but it lacks discernment, which is something that only humans can do, which is why if you put in a cookie recipe and you allow it to go through X amount of iterations, eventually it's going to put an ingredient in there like broken glass or something else that's inedible or something like curry that just shouldn't even be in there. It doesn't discern that we don't like that taste because it can't taste anything. So all it can do is draw off of our combined knowledge. It's a great web crawler. It's perfect if you want, return me 10 quotes on empathy. It can do that really well. But if it takes discernment, like I'm looking at someone and I can discern that they're really sad about something. I can discern that something is off in their life because I feel it, because I know it. AI, at least right now, and probably in the foreseeable future from what I could read, it just can't. It doesn't have that in it. It's a conglomeration of what we've already done. So the knowledge is fantastic. The discernment is lacking.
Want to remind you to scan the QR code. We've been talking about her book on and off here. What's the name of your book?
It is The Empathic Leader: How EQ via Empathy Transforms Leadership for Better Profit, Productivity, and Innovation.
Ta-da! And I have it up there. You just can't read it because it's so tiny. Or I have the but you scan that QR code and it will take you to her website, or it will take you to a website. The stand thing threw me off for the whole stand thing. Yeah. But I love that I was able to sign up for a pre-order of this book and get a signed copy. Yes.
That's the thing with the stand store. It's a little bit less than it will be when it comes out on Amazon. And I am happy to sign as many as you would like. And maybe someday that'll be worth something. Who knows?
Who knows? I have no doubt. I have no doubt. I could say I knew you when, and she was on our show.
There you go. Well, you're not getting rid of me that easy. I'll be back.
No.
I love that.
So how do people work with you from a standpoint of, you mentioned that someone had come to you and had some questions. How do people come to work with you? What types of things do you do with leaders and organizations where they can seek out your help?
I am a coach. So I've done consultancy in the past where I'm working with larger groups, but I feel like I can make the best impact when it's a one-on-one situation. And it's a certain amount of it is learning, but then even more of it is practice. So that way I can be in the corner, just like a boxing coach, and say, okay, this was good. Maybe next time we can try it this way. Maybe you could bob instead of weave. Maybe you could think about how we approach this communication, that sort of thing. Because in enabling this leader to be able to use their EQ via empathy, and the way I define it is it's a strategic use of empathy for the actionable and effective use of emotional intelligence. So it isn't just something you have, it's something you use. It's something that is actionable. You're actually putting it into practice. And so by being able to coach somebody in that way, we can learn it, and then we can practice, because practice makes permanent, right? Whether you're an Olympic athlete or a concert pianist or a leader. And that's what I do.
I love that.
Yeah.
And we will make sure that when this airs, that we will put all the links to make sure that people know how to get in touch with you.
Excellent.
And when they reach out, do they need to call you the Empathy Queen?
Well, maybe I should offer like a 15% discount if they do.
Shazam!
I like that. That.
I could get used to that. I could dig that.
I think that's excellent. Even if it's not there, like it's the secret thing that it's the coin in the door to get you into the back room.
Right. Like In-N-Out Burger. What's the secret order?
Oh,
I like it. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Melissa, for the work that you do. I can tell that it's not just something that you're passionate about, but you believe in. Obviously, you've invested in the study and the practice of it. And I personally believe that it's a strategic game changer for organizations as well. So thank you for the work that you're doing to help change places for the better.
Thank you.
Make sure you scan that QR code, get a copy of her book, and thank you for taking the time today to talk to Dr. Melissa Robinson Winemiller. And my co-host, Dom, is in the house. So this has been Time to Change. I'm Chasen Forehand.
And I'm Dom Jones.
And we'll catch you next time.